Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. Need a roof? Call Parish. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Boatcock Brothers Premium Cigars. Code Matt15, Matt15, Matt15 for 15% off your order. Okay, good morning, everybody. Hope every day is, hope everybody's having a great day, great start to the week. I am, we got a lot to cover here. So I'm a little bummed, obviously, about what happened yesterday with the Brendan Sorsby situation. Maybe bummed isn't a strong enough word. Disappointed, not altogether surprised, angry, annoyed, frustrated. So if you missed a Texas Tech quarterback, Brendan Sorsby, a judge granted him an injunction to be eligible. So a guy who literally bet on sports, bet on games that while he was on the team, that his team was playing in, and bet even as recently as 2024 that we know of when he was at Cincinnati. Is now eligible to play college football. And you know what's interesting is it's very rare that everyone in college sports agrees on something, but everyone agrees that this is a crock. Because this judge has effectively set a precedent to say, bet on games you're playing in, and you'll still be eligible, which is crazy. It's lunacy. So, I mean, the NCAA can appeal. We had Gabe Feldman on the show yesterday. He's a sports law professor at Tulane. Got a good following discussing sport. He had some great insights into the whole situation. Man, I mean, and I don't hate Texas Tech. I don't hate Brennan Sorsby. I don't know Brennan Sorsby. I don't have anything against Texas Tech. I mean, whatever. It's just I sort of understand there's a degree of look at the Diego Pavia thing, right? There's a degree of subjectivity there and interpretation. Like, he played JUCO. So JUCO's not under the governance of the NCAA. There is no rule that says you have to start your NCAA clock immediately after you graduate high school. I mean, Chris Winkie I told you this, was 28 years old when he won the Heisman Trophy. Matt Mauck was 24, 25 when he won the national championship at LSU. He left and came back, when pro baseball came back. So I guess there's some interpretation there. Man. The Sorsby thing is you broke a rule, bro. Like a black and white rule and the rule, and he's eligible. Crazy. On a happier note, LSU football got 2 more commitments on Monday. After getting 2 on Sunday, 2 more on Monday. And it was interesting. Got to talk to Cade Cooper, the 4-star wide receiver commitment from Monday. Markez Davis was the other, the cornerback from Opelousas. So Markez Davis, cornerback from Opelousas, Cade Cooper, wide receiver out of Pennsylvania, both committed. That makes 8 commits now, 4 in a 24-hour period for Lane Kiffin's squad. And Cade Cooper was interesting, man, because he was a heavy Ole Miss lean, but didn't have a relationship really with Kiffin and George McDonald at Ole Miss. His recruiter was LaDainian Washington, who's still at Ole Miss. And effectively, George McDonald got in on him and when he dropped about a month ago, and went and visited him in home, got him to come do the official visit, and they blew him away on the official visit, and he committed. It's crazy. So the one other disappointing note is that Bertie Trosclair, the pitcher, left-handed pitcher from Northwestern State in the portal, he's going to Tennessee. So I was told Tennessee paid the most money. Florida had the second highest offer, and then LSU was third. So rinse and repeat right now for LSU baseball, unfortunately. Now, I shouldn't say, look, the two commitments they've got out of the portal are two elite guys. Landon Hood from Gonzaga, on 3 ranks him as the number 3 overall player in the portal for baseball. So, and, they've hit on 2 really good portal prospects, but it stings to lose a guy like Trosclair, who's from Thibodeau, went to Northwestern State, and in a different era, 100 times out of 100, that kid's going to LSU. But now he's going to the highest bidder. Highest bidder is Tennessee. The search continues for more portal additions. All right, let's say some more. Y'all, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Devin, what up, man? Wow, what an offseason it's been. Sad news for the sport I love. I'm guessing you're talking about Sorsby. Got to be. I mean, I will be so curious to see if there's enough pressure that builds upon Texas Tech that they act and don't make him eligible, or if you saw one of the things that the other Big 12 schools, Ross Dellinger reported that they're discussing not playing Texas Tech in any sports this year. Like that's a good way to use your collective muscle against this terrible decision. Hey, Abner, good morning. Tiger Poppy, good morning. Dale, good morning. Are you still bullish on crypto in general? It appears GMX is on life support. So am I bullish on crypto in general? Absolutely. Dale, I literally buy crypto every day. And I think you know well enough to know about the 4-year halving cycles. So, crypto follows a 4-year cycle. And so we're in a bear market. Regardless of what people say, we're in a bear market. There's some that argue that traditional cycles, the market caps are high enough to where the traditional cycles don't, enough institutional money that the traditional cycles don't hold anymore. I disagree with that. Still holds. So yes, but I buy crypto every day. I've told you so. I have auto buys for XRP and for Bitcoin, and actually I have an XRP credit card. So every time I make a purchase, I get XRP and rewards on my credit card. So as for Gamecoin, I totally understand your point of view there. We just went through the bull market and didn't gain momentum, so that stings. So we'll we will certainly push forward and assess marketing strategy. The unfortunate part, man, is we basically had to go quiet for 2 years during the SEC thing. So, but still a lot of investment, and it's never changed. The concept is a great one, man. And maybe the great benefit too, Dale, is we're in an era where collectibles have never been hotter as that market continues to ascend. So need to push forward. Hey, Brian, good morning from San Fernando, California. Thomas, good morning. Ben, good morning. Bubba, good morning. Pete Rose is turning in his grave. Man. Captain Boudreaux, it doesn't necessarily mean that Pete Rose was right to bet on baseball or that he shouldn't have been banned. But still think 2 wrongs to make a right. Is that right? Hey, Thomas, good morning. SPC 1689, Matt, going to Trinidad and Tobago for a month. When I get back, I'm planning supper club weekend with my wife. Nice. Good hotels around there. Yeah, man. Great vacation, by the way. That's great. I've never been there. That's awesome. Renaissance Baton Rouge. So Watermark and Renaissance are sponsors on my show. Watermark's downtown. Renaissance is on Bluebonnet, actually not far at all from Supper Club, probably 2 miles maybe. If you're on Bluebonnet at I-10 and you're heading toward Perkins, Renaissance is on the right. You go up about a mile, you'll hit Perkins, make a left, and then Supper Club's on the right. So they're really close. That's probably your best bet, honestly. Chance, while I appreciate what Wes Johnson did in 2023, he seems like a jerk. but a good coach apparently. I wouldn't call him a jerk, man. He was great to deal with when he was here. I always enjoyed my conversations with Wes Johnson. Obviously, a fantastic pitching coach. The real interesting thing about Georgia is that Wes Johnson is a pitching guy, but this Georgia team has made their hay offensively. And I'm telling y'all again, man, Georgia's at 174 homers on the season, which is incredible. The LSU record from 1997 is 188. And if Georgia plays deep in Omaha, I mean, there's a real chance. I think it's unlikely. Hang on one second. Let's see. What is the record for most home runs by a team in the College World Series? Okay. So the most home runs by a team in a single College World Series is 17, set by the 1997 LSU Tigers. So it's doable. And that was before the 3-game championship series. It was just a championship game. So all I have to say, man, Georgia goes and plays 6 or 7 games in Omaha, averaging 2 homers a game. Like, they could break that record. The record many thought was untouchable is in sight for Georgia if they advance. Tiger Diver, good morning. Do you think any of the ADs will actually do anything regarding Brennan Sorsby, Texas Tech? I do. I think they're going to try to use whatever resources and recourse they have. I mean, clearly, you heard Ross Dellinger reported yesterday, and we had him on AFR. Big 12 brass is meeting this week, I think today, to discuss, on a call to discuss what their options are. I mean, guys, y'all know, like I say this often, I am as extreme pro player as you can be. Like, let them transfer as many times as they want, let them make as much money as they want, all that stuff. What I am not okay with is breaking rules without consequence. If you're going to have rules and you're going to participate in an organization, you got to abide by the rules. And this is the biggest one there is, man. Let's see. Jason, good morning. I think there's a meltdown in Oxford with Cooper committing to LSU. So I didn't know his whole backstory. He was a great guest, by the way. I had him on AFR yesterday. If you missed that interview, go check it out on demand. He was fantastic. I loved his energy. Smart kid, really great. I mean, you can just tell it was really an interesting young guy to talk. Sometimes you lose sight of the fact that these guys are 17, 18 years old. They're young people, right? And he was great. But apparently he was, like he said, he admitted he was a heavy lean to Ole Miss. And actually, I think I have the clip. Hang on. He was a heavy lean to Ole Miss, and then LSU got in the mix for him late, and when he George McDonald went in home with him and went and watched him work out, gave him the offer. His dad convinced him to come take the official visit to LSU, and he was just blown away by the visit and committed. It's crazy because he admitted he was like. He was an Ole Miss lean, Let's see. I think this is the one. Hang on. Let me see if this is the one.
I really think that Coach McDonald and Coach Kiffin made a great deal of kind of just laying out the facts with me. Like, they made sure that I knew that all the success that Ole Miss had came from them. And I think when you take a step back and you compare and you realize that these are the guys who made them great, I think it opens your eyes to a lot of things. And I think it was amazing because they got a chance to come down and see my family. And over the time,
this is the one, though. This is the one. Hang on.
I think, going into it, originally I was, leaning towards Ole Miss. And then slowly my dad and I we were kind of like, let's just take the visit, see what they have to offer. And obviously, as soon as I went down, the vibe, the people, the community, the culture, like everything just kind of hits you at once. And I was like, it's a no-brainer. I have to come to this place.
Okay, so why were you leaning Ole Miss? Take us through that recruitment, if you would.
I had known Coach LD. Ole Miss was one of the earlier schools to offer me after my junior season, and I just felt like I got a chance to build a relationship. I had been down there 3 times, and I kind of knew that they were replicating what the old Ole Miss had in Pete Golding and all the coaches and some of the coaches who stayed on staff. So I always thought, they had the potential to be just as good as they were last year.
Mm.
I mean, he was basically saying, and so keep in mind, he was offered by Ole Miss and not by Kiffin or George McDonald. He was offered by LaDainian Washington. So he didn't even know Kiffin or McDonald, he told me. So it wasn't until about a month ago that LSU, that McDonald and Kiffin even got on his radar, and then they made it happen. Crazy. All right. Oh, wait, hang on one second. Get ready for it, Dale. Here you go.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish Built. Parish Built. Parish Built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
All right. Parish Construction and Roofing. Remember, if you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. You need a roof, you call Parish. Did I mention, by the way, the winner of the best roofing company, the best of Baton Rouge for 2026, Parish Construction and Roofing? Unique physique, unique aesthetics, and wellness. Remember, that's the GLP-1s. Semaglutide, tirzepatide, once-a-week injections, help you with weight loss. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Do the whole thing over telemed, and they'll ship your medicine anywhere in the country. So even if you're outside of Baton Rouge, you can still use Unique Physique. Restored Motions, book a session there with Crystal Poche. If you got pain, she'll help take you out of it. And of course, Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars, code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15. 15% off your order. Okay. D.H. Bossy, good morning. Brian, did you watch Deuce interview with Jim Hawthorne? Boy, I miss him. I did not. I'll have to go check it out. Christian, good morning. What if other judges in the states where Tech plays says he can't play in that state? Well, it's not exactly how the court system works. However, there is an appeals process, right? So the NCAA can appeal that judge's ruling at a higher court, and they can take it all the way up to the state Supreme Court. The problem, as Gabe Feldman explained yesterday on AFR, is time. So, can you get an expedited hearing? And if not, then it may be too late. I mean, Sorsby can play the season. It could be done before the season be over, before they actually get this thing resolved. Hey, Fred, my little girl that watches you with me every morning on the way to work said, "Oh, hey, look, it's my friend Moscona." I love that, Fred. That's so good, man. Tell me her name. I'd love to shout her out. That's awesome. And I'm definitely her friend. So tell her good morning, and I'm so glad she's watching. Hey, Dale, General Wade must be happy with the judge's decision. Yeah, Dale, I don't think it's what and what, man. Will's not out there trying to sign anybody that broke a rule and bet on sports. I think the thing that Heath Schroyer said on Friday or Thursday on AFR that was the most impactful was last year in college basketball, and he sent me this. Last year, there were 106 players in college basketball that are 25 years or older. There were 257 that were 24 or older, and 41 players that went into the draft and went undrafted played in college basketball last year. So Will Wade's not doing anything anybody else ain't doing as far as that. The one prospect that I disagree with them on is RJ Lewis, because he went into the draft. He went undrafted, but he signed a two-way contract. And there is a black and white rule that if you sign an NBA contract, including a two-way deal, you forfeit your eligibility. So RJ Lewis should not be eligible. That's the one that I look at and I go, I agree with everybody. He should not play. Hey, Bill, good morning. Do you think Texas Tech's negative reaction could affect a Brewster flip to LSU? No. Bruce is going to go where he's going to get paid, dude. Hey, Jacob. Morning. Do you think the NCAA could not allow Texas Tech to participate in the postseason? No, that's another thing that, again, we had Gabe Feldman on AFR, and I asked him, like, could the NCAA basically make Texas Tech forfeit any games that Sorsby plays in? He says, no, you can't. Like, it's part of the law that you can't then go retroactively punish, because that would effectively be like saying you can't play. I saw Pete Rose posthumously committed to Texas Tech. Let's see what up. What up, G? Waiting on Ted Cruz to announce Sorsby rule. He's been awfully quiet. Texas Tech should be boycotted by all college until the issue is corrected. Rocky, when a retired lower court judge is given the gavel in a matter that another less brain-damaged jurist has recused himself, be prepared for some injustice. Good morning, Matt. Henry, good morning. I've been doing some reflecting because it's the offseason. I went and looked back at the 2014 to 2016 Saints defense. And those 3 seasons combined, they gave up an average of 28 points per game. Yeah, man, they were really bad. I mean, those were the back-to-back-to-back 7-9 football teams. And, of course, Bounty Gate. So they had the best season ever in 2011, best team ever in 2011. 2012 was Bounty Gate. Offense was still really good. Defense was atrocious the 1 year under Spags. Peyton comes back. They go to the playoffs in 2013. They beat the Eagles, then lose to the Seahawks. And then 14, 15, 16 is when they went back-to-back-to-back 7-9. And a lot of people thought, I mean, my hand's in the air too. I thought it might have been the end of the Breeze-Peyton era. And then they hit on the 2017 draft. And you hit on Marshawn Lattimore, and you hit on Marcus Williams, and you hit on Trey Hendrickson, and you hit on Alvin Kamara, obviously, and you hit on Ryan Ramczyk. And it sets you up for the next half-decade run where you got really, really, really close. Good morning, Matt. Do you think Sorsby being reinstated, that people or betting sites will now question every play and wonder if he's throwing games or stats for bets? Of course, people are going to do that, are going to wonder that. I don't think it will in any way hinder people from sports betting. Texas Tech is now poison. Seth Rushing, morning, Matt. Locked on LSU is on fire right now. I enjoy listening in the morning for the gym. Thank you, Seth. Appreciate that, man. I've mentioned it to y'all before. Locked on LSU has been an amazing thing for me. I don't mind in any way disclosing this to y'all. Like, our payment structure on that, there's no base, there's no guarantees. We get paid based on the number of listens and downloads. So Locked on LSU has done really well. And that's all because y'all listen or watch. And so I'm really, really grateful. So if you are subscribed to Locked on LSU on YouTube, if you would mind, go subscribe on podcast. That would be super helpful as well. Just because even if you're not listening on podcast, just subscribing there, and vice versa. If you're on podcast, if you would subscribe on YouTube, just because it helps with featuring when people might search like LSU podcast, we'd pop up. So, but yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it greatly to everyone who's supported Locked on LSU. Hey, Rick, good morning. Interested to see the response from the various leagues and teams. I think overall public pressure will matter. I hope so, Rick. I asked Ross that yesterday, and he said, it's a really good question. He gave a long pause. It's a really good question. And I'll be curious to see. Now, the one thing that sometimes does happen, y'all, is the news cycle spins and we move on. So, like, what happens if, like as of now, we're all so hyper-focused on this. Well, if we don't get any resolution or the story doesn't advance in the next 24, 48, 72 hours, something else is going to pop up that's going to dominate the headlines because it's a 24-hour news cycle. Something else has to be discussed. And so we'll move on, and our outrage will go away, and people will accept the fact that Sorsby's going to play, and we'll move on to play. So I'll be curious to see how quickly they can, advance this. The appeals court that will hear the injunction appeal, all 4 judges are Texas Tech grads. Bryce, good morning, Matt. How has the NCAA lost so much control? I feel it used to be way more harsh. So, effectively, schools have stopped abiding by the NCAA's rulings. Like, you got to keep in mind how the whole process and relationship works. The NCAA didn't just wield supreme executive power, right? The schools choose to be member institutions of the NCAA. Schools decide we are going to be a member of the NCAA. And in so doing, they agree to abide by NCAA rules. So the NCAA organizes championships and acts as the governing body, right? They come up with the rules and an enforcement arm, okay? So all these schools say, okay, we're members of the NCAA. We're all going to agree to play by these rules. Well, what you have now, because there's so much money on the line for the players, is when the NCAA has a ruling, like they always have, they'll hear a case and they'll give a ruling. If the player doesn't like the ruling, they go to court to get an injunction. That had never happened before. They would go pro or do whatever was next, but they abided by the rules. The problem is now schools are not abiding by NCAA rule. And the point that I've continuously made is that falls on the university presidents, because they're the ones who that's the group of people who can actually make an impact. Because the university president, like the president of Texas Tech, could say, Brendan Sorsby, we are dues-paying members of the NCAA. Like before he went to court, we're dues-paying members of the NCAA. The NCAA has ruled you ineligible. You are not eligible to play football at Texas Tech. Period. But instead, university president turns a blind eye. Sorsby goes to court, gets an injunction. Now he's going to play without hearing peep from the university president. That's weak. LSU's no longer the number one villain next season. Texas Tech wears that hat now. Hey, Jacob, good morning. Phil, good morning. Adam, good morning. Logan, what's the chance playoff committee comes together to keep teams like Tech and Ole Miss out? Not. Well, certainly not Ole Miss. Because you're talking about Chambliss, but the Chambliss situation, getting an extra year of eligibility, getting his medical red shirt, that's no different than any other subjective rule for interpretation like Pavia or somewhere it's gone in favor of the athlete and somewhere it hasn't. Joey Aguilar lost his, This is different. Like, this is you broke a rule. Hey, Bobby, good morning. Hawkeye Cam, morning, Scone. Shout out to Sorsby and Texas Tech for taking all the heat off of Lane Kiffin. DJ, good morning. Thanks for all you do. You got it, man. Thanks for being there. Hey, Bailey, I'd love to see you and Pate debate the playoff. Okay. I don't know. He doesn't want an expanded playoff, I guess. I don't know that there's anything more that I could say, but I like Josh a lot. I talked to him anytime. Hey, Kyle, good morning. May God bless. And yes, LSU did offer Noble Williams Smash running back for 2028. Very good. Steven, enough. Kiffin needs to call Hudson's bluff. Maybe someone should show him on a map where Nebraska is. What are you talking about? It's about Ahmad Hudson taking a visit to Nebraska? Who cares that he took a visit to Nebraska? Easton Royals committed to Texas. He took a visit to LSU. Talk about the number one player in America who's committed to Texas Tech. He took a visit to LSU last week. Grady James committed to Texas, took a visit to LSU. Kids are 17, 18. They get visits. Go take your visits. Always take all of your visits. Go. Let someone else pay to fly you somewhere. Go see a campus, different part of the country. Meet new people. 100 times out of 100, go take your visits. Go take all of your visits. Hey, Michael, good morning. Any more updates on Sam Levitt? Is the recovery still going well? Last thing we saw, Michael, was that he was in the indoor facility. If you saw that video, and he ran into the end zone and dunked over the goalpost. So, and that kind of explosive looks pretty good. Kiffin said that it was up to 21 miles an hour on the GPS. So that sounds pretty good, man. It sounds really encouraging. He argues March Madness devalued basketball and doesn't want that to happen to football. I agree with you. March Madness devalued college basketball. Like the exact opposite is true. March Madness, just the tournament is what's turned college basketball into a billion-dollar entity. It's the thing that draws the most eyeballs and attention to college basketball. College basketball's regular season was never a juggernaut, ever. And the point that I've made over and over, as far as college football's regular season, if you expand the playoff, it means more teams will play more meaningful games late. Like, let's say you lose 2 games in September. Then what are you playing for throughout October and November? The CarQuest Bowl? Like, what if you could run the table and be the last team in the field? Okay, you're playing for something. And you're going to say, well, should you? You lost 2 games. What, so teams aren't allowed to ever get better? Like, I just fundamentally disagree with that on every level, in every sport. Oh, I got to go. Brad, do you think Todd Golden did what he was accused of? He seems like a creep. I don't know if he did what he's accused of, but there certainly seemed like there was damning evidence of it. Morning, Matt. Any word on Simeon progress? I guess that's Albert Simeon who you're talking about. Not that I haven't heard an update. I can ask Shay today, though. All right, Shelby. Headed to the doctor for my wife's last baby appointment. Her due date is tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a new addition to the Morning Scone family by tomorrow's episode. Love that. Awesome, Shelby. Well, if everybody would join us, man, let's say a prayer for Shelby and his wife and baby Kelly on the way. And hope that mom and baby do great and that you all have a joyful welcoming into the world, man. That'd be awesome. So, all right, y'all, I'm late. I got to bounce. Got to get Drew up and out to St. Lillian. So y'all have an awesome day. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. If you're on podcast, please subscribe on your favorite podcast app. All of our sponsors are linked in the description on YouTube. Get them tagged on podcast as well. Remember, Locked on LSU is live, AFR3. See you.